the Program Quality Manager for the three divisions. Welcome you to this new session of Wednesday Wisdom. At the outset, again, let me wish you a happy new year. 2021 is finally here, and this is the first session of 2021. We really hope that this learning is going to be massive for the year coming ahead. Now, of course, now we have done this brief introduction, and as you know, as we said in the last Wednesday Wisdom session, it's very important to keep upgrading your tech skills, or generally, you build your knowledge base. And I think this is one thing that has really been crucial for a lot of people during lockdown is knowledge building, and that's how the thought of Wednesday Wisdom was born. And thank you very much till now for supporting us. Again, on behalf of Division BMNS, I would like to thank everyone for showing great love and appreciation for these sessions. So, without much ado, let us move on to today's session. We are going to talk about a very, very important tool that's super practical and going to help each and every one of you in your personal as well as professional life. And we have a very, very special speaker all the way from beaches of Goa, virtually here to take you through this particular tool. The tool obviously is Canva. And let me just tell you briefly about the speaker. So today's speaker is has been a part of Toastmasters since September 2018. He is a member of Anna Fonte Toastmasters Club. He works for a small startup in Goa. And when I asked him what does he do beyond his professional and personal, like in terms of hobbies, he gave a super one-line answer. He says working and building anything creative. And I think that's a testimony for the session that we are all sitting over here today. So please help me welcome under spotlight today's dashing speaker all the way from beaches and the sunny sands of Goa, Toastmaster Nigel Gomes. Nigel, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ronak. I think putting me in the same sentence as Goa makes me attractive more than anything else. But thank you so much for that introduction. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year to each and every one of you all once again. And thank you for joining in this session. Thank you, Ankit, for giving me the breakdown of the demography of the people that have joined in. So to give each and every one of you all a brief what this Canva entire session is going to encompass. For the first 20 minutes or so, I will try and cover how to use Canva right from scratch. In the next 10 minutes or so, if you want to improve your visual aesthetics, right, there are certain Canva tutorials that you can use. So why is it important to learn to control to express your whatever you're putting on your posters in a way that is visually pleasing to the user. The 10 minutes after that, I'll try and go over the brand compliance, because I know a lot of you Toastmasters struggle with the idea, the concept of brand compliance. And in the last 5 or 10 minutes, in case I still have time, I will cover a little bit of the role of the VPPR and why it is such an amazing role to be in. Why I believe it's one of the best roles, leadership roles there are, and how you can leverage the role of the VPPR for your own personal growth. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second. Oh, and one more thing, I will not be checking the chat. Okay, so I'd request any one of the moderators, whether it's Ankit or Ronak, if there are any questions that come
Yes.
up at this point, feel free to
Yes,
put
yes,
them
Nigel.
across.
Don't worry. Yeah, we'll help you. Thank you.
Okay. Give me a second.
Ronak, can you make him co-host?
Yes, I'll do that. Yep, it's done.
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so first and foremost, what is Canva and why do you need to use Canva? Okay, so Canva is this very basic graphic design platform that is you can use to create any number of posters or anything that you want to do online. It is available on the web and the mobile, like one of our Toastmasters mentioned, and it integrates millions of images, fonts, and templates and illustrations that are there that you can use and grab and drop into the image or the poster that you want to create. Okay, why is it that I love Canva? I love Canva because the learning curve to learn a tool like this is very easy. What are the things that you need to keep in mind when you're using Canva? One is you need to have an active internet connection whenever you're accessing it. It is preferable to do it on the browser rather than on the mobile, because there is a lot more freedom that you have on the browser, and especially when in terms of adjustments, minor adjustments, and so on and so forth. And it can also be used not just for photos, but it can also be used when you want to create your specific videos. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a screen and show you just simply how the sign up process works. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, if it's you're on an app, or if it's you're on if you're on the website, is you basically go to sign up. It's a very simple process. If you have your Google account, you can put in your Google account. If you don't have your Google, if you've already signed in, you put in your email address or your cell phone, and you basically put your password and you sign in. Okay, so second. Okay, now once you have signed up, you will get to this page. This is the landing page that is there. Okay, now if you look at this landing page, you have various templates that are available in different dimensions. For example, you can see over here it is 1920 by 1080p pixels. If you see over here, it's 15 by 14.8 by 10.5 centimeters, so on and so forth. So what are these? The first line that you have are basically templates of specific sizes of posters that you want to create. Okay, why is it that you need to choose the right size of a poster before you start creating it? The reason for that is, take for example, you are creating a poster for what is that, a WhatsApp or a Facebook invite. If you have a too long poster, it might not render properly on the device that it is being sent to. Similarly, in case you want to create, for example, a standee has 7 feet by 3 feet or whatever the dimensions are, right? If you make a poster in the small dimension, say for example, you take this 14.8 and 10.5 centimeters, and you make the standee and you give the entire design to the designer to print it, it will start pixelating. So always keep in mind, when you are creating a poster, understand the medium on which it is going to be put across. And accordingly, if you cannot find the dimensions of the poster that you want, you can come up over here and click on create a design. And over here, you can click on custom dimensions. Okay, and you can specify the dimensions in terms of inches, mm, centimeters, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's your first step. The second step is, once you have defined a specific, say for example, I want to make a poster with this dimension. So the moment you click on that template, you will basically get a blank canvas on which you have the various tools that are available in Canva that you can use in order to create your poster. Okay, now I'm going to start with a few of the tools. The first step basically is templates, that is there over here, and we will explore this a little bit later in the in today's session. I'm going to go directly to uploads. Okay, now uploads is what? Uploads is a place where you can upload either your images or your videos or even audio. Okay, now you can download whatever image that you want. Say for example, Coca-Cola. So if you go to your internet and you click on this and hold on, and you save this specific page, this image, say I save it on my desktop. Now, in case I want to import this image into Canva, what I basically do is, all I have to do is I drag and I drop the image into Canva. We get the option drop to upload file, and that image will start appearing in your image directory. And then you can scale it. Once you have got the image inside, you can scale it. So you can use these options over here to define exactly what the dimensions of your image needs to be, so on and so forth. Okay, so this is with regard to the images that are there. Similarly, you also have the option of uploading videos in Canva. So the videos need to be of a specific format. Now, in terms of rendering the videos, once you upload something on Canva, it can be a little bit difficult, a little bit time consuming when you're rendering it, when you're downloading it. You'll have to have a little bit of patience because all of this is being processed on the server. None of it is being processed on your system. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's very easy to navigate through the entire process of creating the poster and creating the video, and hence this becomes an excellent tool for making videos as well. Similarly, if you have any sort of audio that you want to put into your video, right, that is something that you can directly download, drag and drop. Once you've put it over here, it stays in your account. Okay, it stays in your account and you can access it whenever you want, wherever you want. All of it gets stayed in a chronological order. So that is with regard to the uploads. Now Canva also provides a library of photos that are available that can also be used. For example, if I don't want to use the image that I downloaded, but I say, Toastmasters ask you have to put images of people that are engaging. So for example, I can search over here speaking. Okay, and I can search an image, say over here, that is where a woman is engaging with somebody else, right? So sort of a brand compliant image. So all these images are available as well. We'll dwell into this pro part a little bit later. Similarly, beyond the photos aspect, you also have elements. Okay, now elements is this very interesting thing wherein you have various shapes, various forms that are available that you can use in your posters. For example, if I want something that's square shaped, I will click on the square shaped element, and if I want to change the color of this, or if I want to manipulate the size of it, right, I can manipulate with these tools that are available. You can see this white color bar that is there. I can accordingly manipulate the size and shape of this box using that. If I want to change the color of anything, whether it is a font, whether it is an object that can be changed, here is the option to change your color. So you click on this and you have your default colors over here. But in case there is a specific color that you're looking for, what you can do is you can search for something known as the hex code. Again, this is something that we will be exploring when I'm talking to you about brand compliance. But for now, say for example, I want to make this into purple. So I just click on this and the color changes. So that is with regard to the shapes element. Similarly, you have an element of frames. What is frames? Now take for example, if I have a frame like this over here and I want a specific image that is probably in a rectangle, but I want it to be fit into a normal proper circle, right? But I don't want to go to the extent of cropping it into a circle, so on and so forth. So what I do is, if it is this image that I want to drag in, I drag and I drop it into this frame element, and you can see how the entire image takes the shape of that specific frame, right? So like that, you have frames over here. There are various types. If you click see all, you will see a lot of different types of frames that are available. Then you also have gradients. This is something again that I will explain. So gradient is basically a transition from one color to the other color. I will explain in terms of Toastmasters what are the types of gradients that we can use for our posters. And you have these vectors. Now keep in mind, if you're making a poster for a birthday or a celebration, so on and so forth, it is up to you. You can use the vectors, but Toastmasters in particular does not allow us to use these kind of vectors in our posters. Okay, so that is with regard to the elements. Then you also have text. Now what is text? If I want to basically have text that is written, I can click on any of this and say for example here, and I can manipulate the text by, this is something that's easy. Say for example, I'm typing my name, Nigel. If I want to change the fonts, I can come over here and I can change it to any font that I like. For example, I like Anonymous Pro. So I click on that and the font changes. If I want to change the size, you can change it over here. If you want to change the color of the font, again, you have the option of clicking and changing it to say pink, bold, italics. These are all tools that you will be aware of. knowing because it's very similar to Word as well. So this is the text element. Then the other aspect is of music. Now, most of the library that is available, I've already told you that you can download and you can input whichever music you want in case you're creating a poster, right? But Canva also provides a library of uh, music that you can use when you're creating your videos. But most of them are pro version. And with regard to the audio, in case you want to access the audio and use it in your posters, you will have to pay for it. Okay, then you also have the aspect of video. So again, this is a library of videos. Say for example, you want 2021, a video on 2021, you will get like a series of videos that are available in their library. Okay, the other aspects are basically background, although you can alter and eliminate, you can alter and edit the backgrounds even in the using the other elements. So these are all the tools that are available within Canva that you can manipulate in order to create a poster. Now, let me go to the, uh, the process of ideation. Now, whenever you're creating a poster, and this is something that I tell everybody that is in the VPPR role, whenever you're creating a poster, before you open Canva to work on the poster, get all the details that you need to have inside the poster. Everything that needs to be shared with the viewer or what you want to express. Now, if it is a Toastmaster meeting, you need to have the theme. You need to have the themod. If you're putting his name and his photo, you need to have the date, the time, the venue, the club name, contact details, so on and so forth. Okay, so get all the details. Why is that important? Because you will reduce the number of revisions you need to make. And if any of you have been VPPRs for 6 months minimum, you will know that most of the time you have to do a revision to your poster, and it is time consuming. For the person that's asking it, it might not feel as time consuming. It'd be like, hey, you know what, it's just a small change, go change the date. But when you go and change the date, everything else shifts in the poster, and then you'll end up spending 5 minutes instead of 30 seconds or 1 minute when you're creating your poster. Okay, so make sure you understand what the requirements are of your poster before you start working on your poster. So I have explained to you a little bit of the various tools that are there in Canva. What we'll be exploring now is how to use the various templates that Canva provides. Okay, so for example, you can start a poster directly from a blank canvas. Okay, for example, if I wanted to create a poster for a meeting detail, I could individually bring all these elements that are there, scale them to whatever size that I wanted. If I wanted the text, you say, for example, I come over here and I take this text up and I say, you know, Anna font, that's my club, Toastmasters Club presents, so on and so forth, right? So I can build my entire poster right from scratch. Okay, but Canva also provides the option of using templates. And so, for example, if I go down here, if I scroll down on my landing page, once I join into Canva, you will see that a lot of these are available: Instagram posts, posters, logos, so on and so forth. What are these? These are basically uh, templates that are available with elements already defined in the poster that you can manipulate in order to get to what you want to create. For example, if you see this, I can change this element over here. Now, this element in particular might not always be available in your element list. So if I go to the element list over here, there will oftentimes be elements that you would want to include in your poster but are not available in this segment, but they are available in the template segment. So if you want an element that is there in a template, in another template in this section over here, what you can always do is go here, click the element that is there, do Control C, that is copy it, and then click Control V. And that element gets copied and pasted across from the template to the image or to the poster that you're working in. Okay, in case again here you can manipulate all of this with the colors that are there. something again, I will explore that in terms of brand compliant colors, so on and so forth. Now, in case I realize that I want to make this is the template and I want to make this, what is that, a Toastmaster meeting poster, but I don't want all of this content. So very quickly, you can say Anaphont Toastmasters Club, and then I can edit and I can scale. So over here, let me show you another trick, another quirk that is there of Canva. You can see over here, the countdown party, that letter is scaling at the same ratio as the Anaphont Toastmasters Club. And you can see that there is a blue color line that is there over here and a dotted line at the bottom. This shows that both the text, that is the yellow text and the white text that is there below, they have been grouped together. And so when you group it together, you can basically scale it together. If you want to ungroup them, you have to go up over here and click on ungroup, this option that is there over here. And now when I scale the Anaphont Toastmasters Club, the countdown party letters do not scale equally. And this can be done for all elements that are available in Canva. For example, if I want to scale this, but I want to scale this at the same proportion as I'm doing this. So I click on both of them, I can click on group, and now when I scale, you can see that both of these are scaling at the same rate, right? So this is one of the quirks that are there. Now, beyond that, there is also this option of position. So if you have any content that is available, you can basically distance them in your poster. For example, if I want this 2020 to go behind this red color box that is there, what I do simply is I go to position over here and I click to back, and it goes absolutely behind the poster, which is why you cannot see it. Similarly, I can push it forward. If I click it on forward, it will slowly come forward one element at a time. If I do to front, so if I go to front, it comes directly to the front segment. So you can manipulate your posters and give the positioning of your elements in Canva using this specific tool that is there over here. Then you also have things like transparency. For example, if I want to reduce the transparency of this is currently very bold, so I can reduce it over here when I'm manipulating this specific text that is there over here. And then of course you have effects, so on and so forth. Now let me convert this into a Toastmaster meeting poster with the details that I've got. Consider I'm a VPPR. I've reached out, my VP has come and president has come and said, Baba, please give me a poster. Meeting is there in 3 days. Okay, I don't have time to start a poster right from scratch. So I go to a template and I say Anaphont Toastmasters Club. That's the name of my club. I scale this so that it fits nicely into the poster. I position this up. I don't like all of these dots, so I'm going to click on all of them. Currently I'm holding shift so that all of them are getting highlighted at the same time. So shift and I'm clicking the dots. After I clicked on all the dots, I basically click on delete. Sorry, a second. Yep, nearly there. Okay, and I basically click on delete. So I don't like any of these dots, so I want something that's simple. Okay, now the theme, say for example, the theme of it is Happy New Year. Okay, so we have theme. Then you have December, this is the date. Say we have 1st January 2021. You have doors open at that. You have info at this vineyard. You put all your details, so on and so forth. If you want to copy an element, you have to be, for example, theme. You have this element that is there over here that says theme Happy New Year, right? So if you want to duplicate this thing, you come up over here and you have the option of duplicating. Okay, so you click on duplicate and you will get the same font, the same dimensions, so on and so forth. So let us say that the person that agreed to be the T-mod is Ronak. Okay, so you have Toastmaster Ronak, that is the T-mod for today. So you have this in less than 2 minutes. You can create a poster for your meeting, club meetings using a template. Okay, with the relevant details. Now The question is, once you have created a poster like this, you have made all of it, then it comes to the essence of the concept of brand compliance. Okay, so the big B in the room. The question is, what is brand compliance of Toastmaster meeting posters, and why is it that your area directors or your VPPR, the PRM, or the division, all your district directors are after you to maintain the brand compliance of posters? So in short, I have basically summarized the entire essence of brand compliance into this one poster. Okay, you can have access to it. You can always check it out. If you search for brand manual of Toastmasters, they've come out with a very neat brand manual that explains to you the various elements. But in short, we are allowed to use certain types of colors in Toastmasters. And these are the 5 colors, and these are basically the hex codes. So on a computer system, the way you identify a specific color in whatever, whether it is in PowerPoint, whether it is in the Canva, there are certain formats by which you do that. So in Canva, they basically use the hex code. A hex code is basically a 6-digit alphanumeric number that is there that defines the specific color. For example, if I want to change, now this is one of the colors and this is the hex code for the yellow color. So I copy this, and if I go back to my poster and I want to change the color of this block that is there over here to the yellow color, what I do is I go to color over here on the top and I put in the hex code for that specific color, and you get the option over here, and voila, you get the color that is defined by the brand manual. Okay, then you also have the logos. Now what are the different logos that are allowed to be used? You'll also see one of the practices that I've seen a lot of VPPRs do is they directly go to Google, they search for Toastmasters logo, and whatever they get over here, they'll pick and they'll choose for their posters. Okay, now here's the thing, a lot of these logos, not all of them, but a lot of these logos have been discontinued. For example, this logo that is there over here has been discontinued. So if you want to get the right logos for your Toastmaster meeting posters, I'm going to share with you the link. Okay, you come down over here, you have this Toastmasters logo design elements, and over here you can basically download right from the website, and these are updated every year as and when the changes happen in Toastmasters as defined by the international team. So say for example, I wanted to get this word mark, so I just click on the PNG version. Okay, and then I right click over here and I will basically say save image as. Once I do save image as, I'm saving it on my desktop. I told you how you can manipulate this. What I need to do basically is I need to go to my desktop and give me a second. Okay, hold on, I can't find it. So put it in downloads. So I basically, once it is downloaded, I will drag and I will drop it over here. And once it is dropped over here, I can basically position this, I can scale this and position it in whichever location that I want on my poster. Now, there are a couple of things to keep in mind when you're using the Toastmasters International logo. Oftentimes, you will find people that put the logo like this. Okay, so there are rules to define this aspect. This is not allowed. So whenever you're putting your logo, it has to have a certain distance from the edge, equidistant from the edges, so that it is not cut off. Don't try and put, sometimes people put Santa Claus cap on a Toastmaster logo. Don't try and do all of that and manipulate all of it in that specific way. I'm not going to dwell too much on how to navigate, how to control the logo that you're using on your poster, because a lot of it is there on the brand manual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically send you a link to the brand manual. Give me a second. Okay, and I'd request each and every one of y'all to go through that brand manual and check the various ways in which the entire logo has been Toastmasters are defined not to use, whereas in terms of scaling or in terms of increasing the size out of proportion, so on and so forth. In short, the entire logo, the proportions of the logo need to be same, and it needs to always be on a brand compliant color. Okay, then for example we also have the typography. So the typography is basically a font. So in Toastmasters, again in the brand manual, it's defined the different types of fonts that we can use in a poster. Now if you're making your posters on PowerPoint, you have a much larger variety of fonts that you can use. If you're using it on Canva, you basically have only Montserrat, Merit Pro and Sans Source Pro. These are the three and Arial as well. So these are the four fonts that are actually available in Canva. Again, I explained to you all how you'll do that. Fonts, once you have selected a font text, you basically go over here and you search for that specific font, and once you click on it, it basically the text changes to that specific font. Okay, now the lastly, in terms of the images, what are the images that you can use for your posters and what are the images that you're not supposed to use for your posters? So very clearly it's defined. Anything, in short, any image that has people that are engaging with each other in a sort of a conversation or in sort of a friendly laugh, or in terms of standing on a podium and delivering a speech, those are the images that you can use in your posters. What is definitely not allowed is animals or landscapes or children or food appliances that are posters, cartoons, architecture, and medicine, so on and so forth. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're choosing the images for your poster. Now, you might ask me, why just these brand colors? Why just these fonts? I want to express my creativity as a VPPR, right? And you might say, I find these too restrictive. Why is it that we need to follow these brand guidelines? So I'm going to show you an image over here that I've downloaded. Give me a second. I saw a question in the chat. We will have a discussion on all of it soon enough. Just going to almost nearing the end of the entire overview of Canva. So I'm going to show you this. Okay, once you have seen this image, right? I want, by a show of hands, how many of you have imagined the bottle being there? By a show of hands, by looking at that specific image, how many of you have imagined a bottle being there? Okay, now here's the thing about brand compliance. Here's the thing about why it is important to ensure that we are following these colors, these fonts, so on and so forth. Because once you have a certain idea, the reason we have brand compliance is basically because it helps everybody that comes across a Toastmaster meeting poster to identify what Toastmaster stands for. If you see in this specific image, the bottle is not even there. But because it has been so synonymous, right? It is just the text and the feel that is written on top, where people look at it and they immediately think of the bottle. That is the power of brand compliance. Okay, now if you ask in particular, what is it about these specific give me a second. What is it about these specific colors or this font that is there that makes Toastmasters or exudes what Toastmasters is trying to stand for, right? So these colors in a way define a specific feeling. For example, if you think of the color blue or the color green, it is always considered as a cool color. Why? Not just because somebody out there defined and said, hey, you know what, blue is cool, so we associate it with cool. We throughout our lives we sense the world around us through our senses, right? And when we've gone, even as we are growing, when we go and see the clouds, or when we see the sky that is blue in color, when we're sitting under a tree that is there, that's green in color, they have an effect of cooling, of calmness on us. And so we begin to start associating very subconsciously colors like green and blue with coolness. On the contrary, you will associate colors like yellow and red and orange with hotness. So when these colors were defined for the brand manual, it was defined keeping those things in mind, that when you create your posters using these specific colors, what happens in particular is you're exuding that essence or that feeling. Even for example, the font. So in all, you have three different types of fonts that are there. One is a serif font, and I will show you very quickly over here. So a serif font is basically a font where you do not have, give me a second. Okay, I will show you in the Canva this itself. Yeah, so if you look over here, this is basically known as a serif font. Okay, sorry, this is known as a sans serif font. A serif font is something that has, yeah, so you can see over here, it has like these feet that are there, right? The logo, the text that is there has feet. Okay, so this is known as a serif font. If you have a font that doesn't have the feet, that is known as a sans serif font. And if you have something that is very playful, that cannot be defined in terms of all the, it's not too formal, if I were to say. Let me show you an example of a display font. Give me a second. Yeah, so if you look at this over here, so this is the idea, this is what a display font looks like. Okay, so you have these three families of fonts. Now to explain to you what a font exudes, very simply think about it. A display font is basically like a pajama that you wear when you go to sleep. You'd feel extremely comfortable and it is very playful. And if you are thinking of, say for example, a serif font is, say for example, formals that you're wearing to an interview. Probably not in Goa. In Goa, you probably wear shorts and go for an interview. Sorry, a sans serif font. A sans serif font is something that is formal but not too formal. Okay, let me show you a sans serif font. Yeah, so it does not have the feet that is there at the bottom, okay, of your of the letters that are there over here. And lastly, you have the serif fonts. So the serif fonts are basically ones with the feet, and it's kind of like how you wear a suit when you're going for, say, a wedding or so, right? Now nobody goes to sleep wearing a suit every day. Probably on certain days you do, I don't know, but mostly you wear a suit because it makes you feel bold. It gives you that essence of power. So you will notice as and where you go, you will see that the serif fonts are used to exude a certain feeling. So is the sans serif font, and so is the display font. And that is why Toastmasters has basically defined these fonts so that when you use it, you don't have to worry about what the fonts are exuding in your posters, so on and so forth. Okay, then let's quickly move on to gradients. What are the gradients that are allowed? So, and how do you apply gradients? For example, blue and white, burgundy to white, gray to white, and yellow to white. These are the four gradients that are allowed. When you go to elements over here, like I mentioned, you basically have the option of gradients that is there at the bottom. Okay, so how do you construct to create a gradient? You click over here and you click, this is a brand compliant color. So I'm constructing a gradient. So a gradient like this is allowed, where it is transitioning from the blue color as defined by Toastmasters to something that is white. You are not allowed to transition this to maroon. Okay, so this is with regard to brand compliance. of gradients. Now there is one specific gradient that you will see if you open the brand manual as well, where you have a gradient that is defined from a loyal blue to a digital loyal blue. And you can see over here how it has been defined with the hex codes. So these are available. You can check out, these are mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, on the brand manual. If you don't have this information, reach out to me, I will give it to you. But I think it's available. So this is one gradient where you're transitioning from one color to another, that is allowed. Apart from them, keep in mind that these are the 4 gradients that need to be used wherever you're using them. Lastly, you reach a point where you're creating a poster, so on and so forth, and but you're like, you know what, I want to put just this one Santa Claus image that is there at the side because it's about Christmas, right? What do I do? Because otherwise it does not look like a Christmas poster. So here's the thing, this role has the opportunity of challenging your creativity, and you will see that there are multiple posters that you can create across the board where you are sticking to the brand guidelines of not using vectors, of not using cartoons, of not using architecture, and still being able to express the same thing that you wanted to express in your poster. And I just put out a few creative examples of brand compliant posters where somebody made this word art that is there over here. You know, there's thinking out of the box. This was based on the theme. So explore your creativity when you're building and creating these posters. Okay, when in doubt, always remember that your posters need to exude what Toastmasters stand for: confidence, compassion, positive, upbeat, enthusiastic, leadership, dedication, and empowerment. If you're worried whether your poster is brand compliant or not, after following all the rules, ask yourself whether it fits into these keywords that are there. Okay, and lastly, once you have downloaded, okay, so very quickly let me convert this into a brand compliant poster. Okay, so this background over here, I'll say for example make it white, because white is or make it yellow, the brand compliant color, because, and I don't want these vectors that are there, so I'm going to delete these. I change this to all the fonts that are there over here to League Spartan is not allowed. One of the fonts is Source Sans Pro, so I can change it to Source Sans Pro. If I want to increase the size, so on and so forth, I can change it. I can make it bold, etc., etc. And I can also change, let me add another element that is there over here to make it more legible. So okay, so I go back, push to the back. I want this specific color, the blue color that is there, that I'm allowed to use. So I copy this hex code, I go to my poster, I go to color over here, I change it over here to a brand compliant color. This is something that's not allowed, sorry. This box is something that I don't want, so let me delete it. Let me put this over here. Let me rearrange this. Okay, you can see these lines that keep coming up. These lines, the pink color lines that are there, they are basically to guide you. Okay, and if you have downloaded your logo that is there, you click on the logo and you will basically get the opportunity of, give me a second, you get the opportunity of placing it wherever you want. So that is how very quickly you can convert a template that is there into a brand compliant poster. Okay, now in case you want to understand various other aspects of design, of how to improve your design sense, Canva has this thing called designschool.canva.com and tutorials, where you have various tutorials to understand visual hierarchy, how to start, how to basically understand what is the message that you want to get across in a proper visual way, so on and so forth. So check this out. If you Google for designschool.canva.com, you will get it. I recommend that you go through this entire series of exercises that is there. It's very informative and very interesting to go through. And Yeah, and lastly, once you have created your poster, I've also got across messages saying that, I have shared the poster, but the write-up is not going with the poster. So in WhatsApp, specifically when you're sharing, you have two options. One of it is forward and the other one is share. When you click on forward, when you use the forward option, only the poster will go without the write-up that is there at the bottom. Okay, if you use the option of share, your poster along with the write-up will go. So keep that in mind when you're sharing your posters across WhatsApp. Now I've gone a little bit ahead of time, so I am going to open it up to questions.
Yes.
Before I,
So what we'll do is we'll just quickly open it up to questions. You can either type out your questions on the chat box or probably just unmute yourself and ask. We're slightly pressed for time today, so we have like 6-7 minutes for the questions today.
yeah,
Uh, am I audible? Abhishek here from UPL Toastmaster.
Yes,
hi
Abhishek.
Abhishek.
Please go.
Hi, Nigel. I just wanted to know, but at times during the festival season, when we try to work on Canva, I'm not able to download it. It always asks for the pro version, and my
Okay,
whole work has been done, and later on it suggests that it you can't download this thing because it's for pro only. So just can you guide
okay.
me of how to overcome this or something like this?
Okay, so I'm going to show you how to basically do it. Yes, I was supposed to cover this aspect. So take for example, this is your poster, right? And say for example, I have an image that I have chosen that is, say, let me get a pro poster. Okay, so you have a poster that is here that clearly says that it is pro. When you go to click and download over here, you'll get these options, pay and download. Okay, this will prevent you from downloading it, but the thing is, in case you're okay or comfortable with this watermark that is there, you can see over here these lines that are there, that's basically a watermark. Okay, so if you're comfortable with the watermark being there on your poster, you can come down over here and you have download a free watermarked draft. And if you click on this, your entire sorry, I've downloaded a PDF, but if you choose your PNG version, even PDF, if you choose a PNG version, you'll basically get an image of your poster, but with the watermark. Okay, uh, I'm not sure if you can see this. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yes. Can you see this image now, Abhishek?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so this is how you can download and use a poster with the
Pro version.
watermark. Yeah. Now, in case you want a pro image, and this is a trick that I figured out, like I mentioned, Jugaad, we are Indians, because that's why. If you want, say, for example, an image that is pro, okay, without the watermark, what you need to do very quickly is the moment you click on the image, before the watermark loads, you have to click on print screen. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to click on this image and I've clicked on print screen, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this image and I'm going to paste what my print screen was, and then I can basically scale this to the image size that I want.
It won't pixelate.
No, it won't. So it depends. It depends basically on your resolution of your monitor. So if you're using a 720p monitor, then there is a possibility of it pixelating. But if you're using it on a higher full HD monitor, it will not pixelate. So the print screen is basically what do you call it? Takes the resolution in which it is rendering based on the monitor. Now, for a meeting poster, it won't pixelate, but if you're doing something, say for a standee or so, you will have to keep in mind that you have to get a high resolution.
I tried
Hey
this. I
Nigel,
tried.
can you please repeat that?
Okay, so the thing is, once you have clicked on this image, right, the next time you click it, the watermark loads very quickly. Okay, so you don't have a chance to do it the second time. Like I mentioned, it's Jugaad, but I'll do it on a different image that is pro. So for example, this is the image that is there that I want. Okay, I'm going to click on it. Before the watermark loads, I'm going to click on print screen. Okay, so There, I got my image. I've clicked on print screen. I'm going to delete this now and I do Control and V. Okay. Once I do Control and V, I can go over here.
I just wanted to ask if we don't press the control print screen on time and if we are supposed to get that same picture by refreshing it, will it be able to do it again?
No, so you'll have to pay for the image. The other option is there are a lot of websites that are available where you can download free images. Free, if you just Google for them, I'm pretty sure you'll get free images, pixels. All of these give you a lot of stock images. Unsplash in particular is very popular. Pixabay is something that I've used as well. So if you want a specific post image that you unfortunately took a print screen of it after the watermark is loaded, you can always try and get an image from elsewhere, load it into your library and go on. Okay, so
Nigel, I just wanted to ask that it was not allowing me to download the pro version poster. The poster was only the of pro version, and even print screen was not working when I was trying to do it.
okay, so
It
in
was during
general,
Diwali.
yeah, so in general, if you have used any element that is pro, okay, where you have this crown sign that is there, right? Any element that is pro, when you click over here, you will get the option. Were you downloading it from the phone or were you downloading it from the laptop?
From laptop. I was trying to do it from laptop only.
Okay, so it will prevent you from downloading it when you're clicking on this pay and download. When you click on this, you will get this option. I'll show you what you basically get. Your transaction was declined. Please try another payment method, so on and so forth. So if you don't want to pay for it for the pro version, come down over here. Try this today. If you still have an issue, I will share my contact details. You can reach out to me and I'll help you through it.
Okay, thank you, Nigel.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, Nigel,
Hi, Nigel.
this is Khushbu here.
Yeah, Khushbu, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so Nigel, I have a very basic question. Like, if
Yeah.
some of the other VPPRs, they share their poster in the draft format. So what I want to do is I want to save it as the way we save a file. I want that copy to be saved in my records, and I want to just copy that base file to create my own poster.
So you want to use the template that somebody else has already created.
Right. So it like in my login ID, that file should also be there, and the file which I am creating for myself, it should also be there. So somehow it is getting deleted, and then I have to again go there. So is there a way that, like in Excel, we do just file save as, and then a new file is created for our own record? So is there something over here which I'm missing? So
Okay,
that's what I'm
so
trying to
two
figure out.
things. Two things. One of it is basically when somebody is sharing a link, editable link, right? You basically
Right.
come over here. Yeah, you click, you copy the link, and you'll get it, and it will open as an editable link. Okay. Once you have got that image, that is basically a link where both of y'all can edit at the same time. So what you do is, say for example, this is the editable link. You copy all of this. You do control and then you do control C. You go and open a different template.
Okay.
Okay, and once you open a different template, you paste it. So this is, sorry, I've opened you can open a blank template as well, and you directly paste it in that template, and if all your elements will come with the same size. If you choose a template that is a different size than the original poster, you will be able to then resize all the elements inside the poster itself.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what you do, go to your poster, whichever one that you got the link, you can do Control A or just select all of it, go to a new template that is blank and do Control V, and you'll be able to post those elements in the poster. So then there you can edit it whenever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so in my login ID, I can see the old the link which I have received from that person and my file also. Both the things.
That's
will be
correct.
there, right?
So it will basically come up over here like this. So this will be one of the image and this will be the second image. So in your designs, this will probably be your image. You can rename it whatever you want, say my design or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this will be the one of the other person.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Come
Nigel,
under
this
designs.
Okay, so before
I
before we
actually
take that question, we will. This will be the last question. Unfortunately, what we'll do is, Nigel, if you could share your details with us on the chat box. I
Okay.
would request people, like, any questions can directly be mailed to him, or if asked to him on his cell phone. I'm sure it would be a great way to take few things offline. But we'll take last two questions. I think Pradeep wanted to ask a question, and then there was someone else. So who?
Uh,
Yeah, Nijal, this
um,
is Pradeep here.
And
Yes.
Alia. Okay, yeah. So Pradeep, you can
Yeah,
go first, and then we'll take Alia's question.
yeah,
Ronak,
yeah. Thank you.
I don't mind if the session ends. I can wait for another 10 minutes. If any of you all have sessions, you all can end the session and then I can take the questions as well. If that's
Right.
okay
So
with you.
then, in that case, we can just officially quickly end the session, and
Yeah.
then we'll just have a 10-minute huddle after the session to to. So thanks a lot, Nigel, for taking this session. I believe it was a super practical session. A lot of us didn't know what Canva was before the session started, and I'm sure now it's been bookmarked as one of the resolutions for 2021. So thank you so much for doing this, and we would like to thank you, and I would also like to thank everyone for joining this session. We had close to 60 people joining in, and it's fabulous to see such numbers on a week now, on a working week, work night. So thank you so much. So officially we are done with the session, but anyone who has any questions will just hang back for 10 minutes and you can ask your question.